Hello everyone, I'm Chaplain Colonel Joanne Martindale. I'm the Command Chaplain from the 63rd Readiness Division. Great to be with you today. It was September 11th, 2001. Everyone remembers where they were on that day, unless you were too young maybe. I was at my civilian job as chaplain at Ancora Psychiatric Hospital, the largest state hospital in New Jersey, with 865 patients. I received a call, though, that day from my military commander that stated I needed to go home, get on my dress blues, and inform a 9-year-old boy and 8-year-old girl that their mom died in Tower 1 in New York City. I went home, did as he instructed. He said also that there'd be a chaplain assistant waiting for me there to drive me anywhere I needed to go. So I went home, I put on my dress blues, and my chaplain assistant, or now called religious affairs specialist, drove me to the school where I was going to meet the principal. I met the principal at the entrance to the school parking lot. We walked into the school, we saw the children, and I saw the children in the principal's office. And I thought, I think they're upset they're in the principal's office. So I said, kids, come on and sit on the floor. Not easy to do in dress blues, but sat on the floor with the kids because being near them is what mattered most. But I had to tell them something difficult, really, really hard. I told them that something horrible happened in our world. I told them something really horrible happened. 2 of the towers in New York were attacked and many people died. And I told them that their mom died too that day. The little girl said, that's not possible. My mom and I were just making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches in the morning. She can't be gone. The little boy was angry and said, you don't know what you're saying. And on top of that, their dad had just died in a car accident 6 months prior to that. Now they didn't have either parent, and they also didn't have grandparents or aunts or uncles. But the principal had the foresight to call the woman who was listed in the contacts. So if the mother couldn't come pick up the kids, she was always the one that was there for them. And he called her as well. So she came into the room also. She ended up, turns out, after I told them that their mother died, ends up that she and her fiance took them home. And because they didn't have any other family, they adopted them. So she and her fiance adopted these 2 wonderful children because now they didn't have parents. They quickly said, oh no, chaplain, please be there for us. I had asked them, each year I call them. Each year on September 11th, I call them. And I say, is it okay if I call you each year? Is this a bad reminder? Or is it okay if I call? And they say, no, chaplain, you were there at that important time. We always want to remember. Please keep calling us. They're amazing kids today. They have amazing lives, and they were raised by a wonderful couple. But of course they still miss their mom and their dad. Of course they do. Friends, this pandemic is yet another time in our nation's history where people show up as heroes. People are coming together and helping each other out. There are parades that teachers are putting on where they drive around to their students' homes so they can wave and connect. There was an opera singer just last week that continues to go into the opera house and practice. And on the way into the opera house, she decided, I think I'm going to just stop and start singing in this neighborhood, because she saw people hanging out their windows. And she thought, I'm just going to sing, this land is your land, this land is my land. And out burst this incredible voice of opera and singing. And by the end of it, everyone was singing together. It was beautiful. All the residents in the apartment buildings around there were blessed that day by her beautiful voice. Did you know there are teddy bears showing up in windows all across America so that kids will be surprised as they take walks in their community? Healthcare workers are being honored with flower arrangements outside hospital doors, beautiful chalk designs drawn at the entrance of those doors to tell them thank you. Thank you for all that they've been doing, going into harm's way for us, going into harm's way for our brothers and sisters and mothers and fathers. That's what they're doing. Friends, let's support each other any way that we can. But we have to remember, take care of yourself. Hug those you can. Call friends and family. Tell them how much you love them. Go out of your way to do that kindness for someone, because you never really know how someone is feeling inside unless you ask. Much like 9/11, a time of crisis, we connect and lives are changed. Friends, we get through this together. Let's do that, shall we?